The snow was falling softly that Christmas Eve when I rang the bell of my aunt's house, hands full of carefully wrapped gifts, my heart filled with hope. The door creaked open, and then came her words sharp enough to cut right through the bone. "We don't want you here. Go home." She didn't even hesitate, just rolled her eyes like I was some uninvited stranger off the street. Behind her, I saw the glow of the fireplace, the laughter of my cousins, the clinking of dishes. My little niece was holding a candy cane. She waved at me innocently before. My aunt slammed the door shut. I stood there for a moment, the icy wind biting through my coat and my chest. It wasn't the first time I'd been pushed away by this family. Ever since Mom died, things had changed drastically. Suddenly I was too much, too broke, too different, too unworthy of a seat at their precious table. I took the bus home that night, alone, but what they didn't know, what they never bothered to ask, was that I had spent the last year working in silence, preparing for something big, and the next time they saw me, things were going to be very different. Before we continue, please write in the comments which country you're watching this video from. Enjoy the story. I spent Christmas night staring at the ceiling in my cold apartment, a half-eaten frozen dinner beside me, and my unopened gifts still sitting in the bag, but I wasn't angry. I was done begging to be part of a family that never saw me as enough. You see, while they were busy judging me for not showing up with expensive clothes or a shiny car, I was working nights at a mechanic's shop, fixing cars by day, delivering groceries by night, and studying every spare hour I had. I didn't have much, but I had drive and a plan. 3 years ago, I'd taken out a small loan and started building something online, something nobody in my family cared to ask about. An e-commerce side hustle selling restored car parts. At first, it barely made $50 a month, but this past year, it exploded. I'd crossed 6 figures by November. Quietly, no showboating, no Instagram posts, just me, my busted laptop, and a goal, while they laughed at me behind closed doors. I was becoming unstoppable. And as I looked out the window that night, I made a promise to myself: next Christmas, I'm not showing up to their table. They'll be begging to sit at mine. The next few months were brutal, but beautiful. Cut off all contact with my aunt's side of the family. No texts. No explanations. Nothing. I poured myself into my business, scaled up my operation, hired 2 employees, and launched a custom website within 6 months. I was earning more in a week than I used to make in a month. The car I used to get laughed at for, gone. I upgraded to a sleek electric SUV, paid in full. The tiny apartment they mocked, I moved into a penthouse downtown with floor-to-ceiling windows and a view that screamed, "You were wrong about me." But the best part? They started to notice. It began with a cousin who randomly DM'd me asking, "Hey, saw your car in town. Doing well?" Then came my uncle's sudden accidental run-in at the grocery store, and eventually a text from the aunt herself: "We're hosting Christmas again this year. Would love to have you over, families asking about you." I didn't reply, because this time I had plans, and what I was preparing would make last Christmas look like a joke. I showed up at Christmas dinner, but this time, not alone. I arrived in my SUV wearing a custom suit, and beside me was my girlfriend, brilliant, successful, and absolutely stunning. When my aunt opened the door, she froze. No eye roll, no snark, just silence, because suddenly I wasn't the poor relative they could mock anymore. I was the guy they now felt awkward around. The table went quiet when I walked in. Every cousin who once laughed behind my back suddenly smiled a little too wide. My uncle stood to shake my hand, the same uncle who ignored me last year like I didn't exist. Then came the moment I'd been waiting for. During dinner, my aunt raised her glass to family success stories. She turned to her daughter, bragging about her new handbag business. That's when I spoke. "Oh, I invested in that brand last quarter," I said casually. Forks froze mid-air. She stammered. "You, what?" I nodded. "Yeah, I'm actually one of the majority shareholders now." Helped her scale up. That's when it hit them. I wasn't just back, I was in control, but I wasn't done yet. As the room fell into stunned silence, I leaned back in my chair and looked around. No smugness, no anger, Just calm power. Then I said it. Funny how things change. Last Christmas, I wasn't even welcome. This Christmas, your business runs on my money. The color drained from my aunt's face. She tried to laugh it off. Oh, come on, we were just joking last year. But my girlfriend cut in, smiling sweetly. Joking? We were actually wondering if we should keep funding a company that treats investors like dirt. My cousin's face turned ghost white. That's when I dropped the final twist. I stood up, pulled a crisp envelope from my pocket, and handed it to my cousin. I'm pulling my investment. Don't worry, I already acquired the competitor across the street. Merry Christmas. The entire table gasped. My cousin stuttered. You, what? I nodded. Their customer service felt warmer, you understand. I turned and walked out, not angry, not emotional. Just legendary. This year, they didn't kick me out. I walked out, holding all the cards and the look on their faces. Unforgettable. Before you go, drop a comment and tell us which country you're watching from and if you've ever had a moment like this. We'd love to hear your story.